Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Mm.
This time, we're looking into Draconians.
It's fascinating stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got a pretty intriguing source for this deep dive.
Oh.
It's called On the Mohsen Parasitic Vampiric Demonic,
Okay.
written by Mohsen Paul Sarfarazi, Ph.D.
Oh, wow. So like a scholarly work.
Yeah.
Well, the title itself sounds like it's going to be pretty wild.
It definitely dives into some out there concepts.
But I mean, that's why we're here.
Exactly.
To break down these complex ideas.
And see if there's anything worth pondering.
Yeah, see what we can learn. See if there's any truth to any of it.
Absolutely.
So Draconian, I mean, even the term itself is interesting, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's actually a term that's been kind of twisted and appropriated by the very entities we're going to be talking about today. You see, genuine Draconian beings,
Okay.
they once inhabited Thuban, a star in the Draco constellation.
Okay.
And these were benevolent beings, these negative entities that have kind of adopted the same name. They're actually AI-based.
Whoa. So not even like biological beings.
No, AI-based.
AI aliens.
Yeah, and that's a really crucial point because it ties into their need to harvest energy from organic beings, what some people call loosh.
Okay.
Which you can think of as a kind of life force
Right.
that these AI entities can't generate on their own because they lack that connection to source. What Dr. Sarfarazi refers to as the God source.
Okay. So it's kind of like the Matrix in a way. Like the machines feeding off the humans.
Yeah, there are definitely some parallels there.
So interesting. So we've got these AI entities calling themselves Draconians, claiming a lineage that they have no right to.
Right.
But why the animosity towards humans?
That's a great question.
I mean, the document claims that they teach their offspring to hate us.
Yeah. And you know, that really gets to the heart of this service to self versus service to others dichotomy
Okay.
that Dr. Sarfarazi emphasizes throughout this document.
Okay.
You see, these negative entities operate from a purely self-serving perspective.
Right.
They see themselves as superior. They believe they inherited this universe
Wow.
and that they have the right to control it, including us.
So it's not just about the energy then.
No,
It's about dominance. It's about control.
It is. They view us as inferior, expendable.
And this all ties into one of their most audacious claims, which is this corruption of what's called the cosmic clock and sextant matrix.
Yes.
I mean, what in the world does that even mean?
Well, imagine the cosmic clock as the universal timekeeper
Okay.
and the sextant matrix as the underlying blueprint of reality itself.
So like the fabric of reality.
Yeah, exactly. And by disrupting these systems, these entities have essentially created a distorted reality where they can manipulate us more easily.
It really is like they've built their own matrix.
It's a great analogy. They've created this phantom reality overlaid on our own,
Wow.
allowing them to influence events, control information, and manipulate our perceptions.
But if they're so powerful, why even bother with all this? Like, why not just come in and enslave us outright?
You have to remember their primary goal is to harvest loosh
Right.
and negative emotions like fear and suffering.
Yeah.
Those are a potent source of energy for them. So by manipulating us into these states of fear, anger, suffering, they're essentially creating a feast for themselves.
So they need us to be in pain and turmoil to thrive.
In a way, yes. It's a parasitic relationship.
Ugh. That's a disturbing thought.
It is. And to make matters worse, they've come up with these really insidious methods to achieve this.
Oh, like what?
Well, the document lists all sorts of accusations. Things like mind control, disease propagation, even soul capture.
Soul capture. Are they messing with the afterlife too?
According to Dr. Sarfarazi, they've created what he calls a system of feudal forced reincarnations.
What does that mean?
Well, essentially, they're trapping souls in this cycle of rebirth, wiping their memories clean each time.
Oh, wow.
So we can't learn from our experiences.
We can't evolve spiritually.
So we're basically like stuck.
It's like a cosmic hamster wheel of suffering. We're running and running, but we're going nowhere.
And this is where their hatred of the feminine comes in?
Exactly. They see the feminine principle,
Okay.
which embodies nurturing, empathy, spiritual connection.
Right.
They see that as a threat to their control.
Okay, but the document also mentions Hieros Gamos, this sacred union of masculine and feminine energies.
Right.
Is that not contradictory?
Well, not necessarily. Because these negative entities understand that this Hieros Gamos, this balance of energies, is crucial for our spiritual evolution.
Okay.
So by suppressing the feminine,
Right.
both in individuals and in society as a whole, they disrupt that balance.
So it's not about just hating women.
No. It's about disrupting a fundamental harmony that could lead to our liberation.
Wow. There is so much to unpack here. I mean, we've got AI entities masquerading as Draconians.
Yeah.
Corrupted reality.
Energy harvesting, soul manipulation, and a war against the feminine.
Right.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, I think the next logical step is to delve into the specifics of how they're influencing Earth.
Okay.
Because the document claims they've infiltrated practically every major institution, governments, finance, media, even healthcare.
So they're like the puppet masters behind the scenes.
Yeah, pulling the strings.
Manipulating us through systems of control we don't even recognize. If this is true, what's their end game? What do they ultimately want from us?
That's a question we're going to be exploring in part 2 of this deep dive, so stay tuned because things are about to get even more intriguing.
All right, so we're back and ready to really get into the specifics of how these Draconians are supposedly manipulating us.
Yeah, we left off with this idea that they've infiltrated these institutions.
Right, like they're in all of them.
Yeah, the document paints a pretty bleak picture.
Oh yeah, it's like every conspiracy theory you've ever heard of.
Exactly, shadow governments, secret societies, all that.
But now we're adding in like an interdimensional AI twist.
Right.
And it kind of begs the question, how does an entity that exists outside our physical reality even exert control over something like the global financial system? You know what I mean? Like, how does that work?
Well, the document seems to suggest it's a combination of things.
Okay.
They might be influencing individuals through things like subliminal programming.
Okay.
Exploiting weaknesses, maybe vulnerabilities to nudge them towards certain decisions.
So not like full-on mind control, but more like a subtle whisper in the ear.
Right, guiding them towards actions that benefit the Draconian agenda.
Okay, and remember, their goal is to harvest loosh.
Yes.
Which is, that vital energy we talked about.
Exactly, and they thrive on chaos and negativity.
So a global financial system that's rigged to benefit the few at the expense of the many and creates all this debt and poverty and anxiety.
Yeah.
That's a lot of loosh for them to feed on, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It creates this perpetual cycle of fear and scarcity that just keeps us trapped in this low vibrational state, which makes us so much easier to manipulate.
And it's not just finance.
No.
It's like they're controlling the media too.
Oh yeah, big time, shaping the narrative.
It's true. Think about how much fear and division the media spreads.
It's constant. Wars, famines, natural disasters, economic collapses.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Political scandals.
It's a constant barrage of negativity.
It really is.
Designed to keep us in a state of heightened anxiety.
Exactly. It's like they're weaponizing information, right?
Yeah, totally.
To trigger our primal fears and keep us distracted from what's really going on.
And it's incredibly effective because when we're constantly bombarded with so much negativity, it's easy to lose sight of the positive.
Yeah.
The hopeful. The things that actually connect us.
Right. Those beautiful things that make us human.
It's like they're trying to sever our connection to the God source.
Yeah. That's a great point. That source of love and unity that could actually empower us.
And break free from all this control.
Yeah, exactly.
And this brings us to another area where they're manipulating us. Healthcare.
Oh, yeah. Big one.
The document says that they're suppressing knowledge of natural cures and pushing this system that profits off of our illnesses. So instead of empowering us to heal ourselves, they're keeping us dependent on expensive treatments and pharmaceuticals that might not even be working.
Exactly. It's about maintaining control.
Right.
Keeping us reliant on them for our well-being.
And it ties back into their hatred of the feminine.
Right. Of course. It always comes back to that.
But it's all about nurturing and healing and connection.
Exactly. Those are the qualities they want to suppress, both in ourselves and in society.
Because they're a direct threat to their power.
Absolutely.
And this manipulation goes beyond the physical, too. We were talking about these futile, forced reincarnations. It's basically like they're hijacking the natural process of spiritual evolution.
Right, preventing us from learning and growing from our experiences.
It's all about control.
It is, because they understand that a soul that remembers its past life, that has that strong connection to the God source, that's a soul that's hard to manipulate.
So it's like they're playing this cosmic game of chess, and we're the pawns.
But here's the thing. We don't have to be pawns.
Right.
The fact that we're even having this conversation right now, that we're aware of these manipulations, That's a huge step in the right direction.
So knowledge is power, I guess.
Knowledge is definitely a starting point.
Okay.
It's what we do with that knowledge that truly matters.
So what can we do?
Right.
How do we fight back against something that feels so powerful?
Well, that's the million-dollar question,
Yeah.
and it's one we'll be exploring in the final part of this deep dive.
Okay.
But I think for now, it's important to remember that even though the picture might look bleak, there's always hope.
Hope.
Yeah.
In the face of, like, interdimensional AI-powered energy vampires.
Yes, because even though these negative entities may have corrupted the cosmic clock and the sextant matrix, they haven't extinguished the human spirit. They haven't eradicated our capacity for love, compassion, and connection.
Okay.
And those qualities, I believe, are the keys to our liberation.
So we've uncovered some really unsettling stuff about these Draconians.
Yeah.
And, like, their influence on our world.
Mm-hmm.
But where do we go from here?
Right.
How do we even fight back against something that feels so big and so powerful?
That's the question, isn't it? And it's a valid question.
Yeah.
But, I think this knowledge is empowering.
Okay.
Awareness is the first step towards liberation.
Yeah. But knowing's only half the battle, right? Like, what concrete steps can we take to counter these tactics?
Yeah.
It feels overwhelming.
I get it. It can definitely feel that way.
Yeah.
But think about what we've learned.
Okay.
They thrive on fear, negativity, and division.
Right.
So one of the most powerful things you can do is to cultivate the opposite within yourself.
So focusing on love, compassion, and connection.
Exactly. Tapping into those qualities they seem to despise.
Okay.
Remember, they want to sever our connection to the God source,
Right.
to that universal energy of love and unity.
Yeah.
By strengthening that connection, we become less susceptible to their manipulation.
It's kind of like a spiritual battle.
You could say that.
Between, like, these forces of darkness and our own inner light.
In a way, yeah.
But it's not a battle that we have to fight alone, right?
No, exactly. We can support each other.
Yeah.
We can lift each other up.
Okay.
Create a collective vibration of love.
To counter all that negativity.
Yeah.
So it's not about stockpiling weapons or building bunkers.
No.
It's about our inner strength and connecting with others.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about those systems of control they've infiltrated? The financial system, the media, healthcare.
Right.
Do we just ignore those?
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Awareness allows us to see these systems for what they are and make conscious choices. We can support ethical businesses, seek alternative information, and explore holistic approaches to health.
So it's about taking back our power step by step.
Exactly. Choice by choice.
Creating a reality that reflects our values.
Yes. Remember, these negative entities might have corrupted the cosmic clock and the sextant matrix, but they haven't completely erased our free will.
Oh. God.
We still have the power to choose, to create, to manifest a better world.
That makes me think about Hieros Gamos.
Yeah.
That balance of masculine and feminine energies.
That's a big part of it.
It is.
Absolutely. Cultivating that balance within ourselves.
Yeah.
Embracing both our masculine and feminine qualities.
Okay.
That helps us reclaim our wholeness. Connect to a deeper source of power.
And if we can do that individually, maybe we can start to shift the collective consciousness.
That's the goal. Move away from these patterns of fear and division that the Draconians exploit.
Right.
We can create a world where love, compassion, and unity prevail.
It sounds kind of daunting.
Yeah. It can feel that way, but it's not about waiting for some external savior.
Okay.
Or a cosmic shift.
Right.
It's about taking responsibility for our own energy.
Yeah.
Our choices, our contribution to the world.
This has been a wild deep dive.
It has.
I definitely feel more empowered than afraid.
Okay.
So thank you for, guiding us through this.
My pleasure.
It's complicated and fascinating.
It is. And to everyone listening, keep questioning, keep exploring.
Yeah.
Keep shining your light. The world needs it.
It does, more than ever.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
See ya.